Yo, what is good? We are back for another episode of the Not So Big Ben Show. Glad to have you guys back. My name is Ben Sladek. In other words, the Not So Big Ben. Still trying to get a sponsorship from Coors Banquet. Come on, boys, let's do this. Cheers, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I need to stay a little hydrated.
Yeah.
But before we start this, like, comment, and subscribe. The views keep going up, and we're just proud to get more of an audience. And I'm also here with my co-host.
Yo, man, what is good? It's your boy, Pro@Proden on Instagram, man. And, we back with another banger, man. Again today, man. Like he said, like, comment, and subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to click that like button, man. Mm-hmm. Especially if you like the content. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you likes the content, then like the content. Mm-hmm. You see what I did there?
Yep.
If you likes the content, then like the content and subscribe and share.
I love it. Yes, sir.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? It's a good day to be here, man. Got my boy Poe. Always appreciate my boy in the back.
Yep.
Likewise, boys.
Yes, sir, man. Always appreciate him. And got some fun sports topics to talk about today for sure, man.
Absolutely. And I'm glad this happened the day before. Put Kirk Cousins' agent in the Hall of Fame. This is the news. I didn't know where he was going to go. Las Vegas Raiders was probably the last destination, I thought. But looking at it now, I mean, the contract's kind of confusing. I think it's good for Fernando, so he's got someone to lean on if he is the starter day one or not.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would think Kirk knows that he's just like on short legs here at this point, and like he's not the guaranteed starter. I would think they told him that. Like it's not like the deal he got in Atlanta where he didn't know they were going to draft Michael Penix. But definitely an interesting addition. Does he start week 1 or not? I don't know, but I think. I mean, I don't think it's bad though, personally.
Yeah.
But.
I think you got a kid in Fernando Mendoza, like I said, that's kind of like the perfect QB to at least build, right? He's got the mentality. He's got the attributes, I mean, leg-wise and, throwing-wise. It's just about, the pressure that comes with the NFL. And obviously, his line might not be the best his first year, so he's going to have to work around that. And it'll be great, though, to, like you said, to have somebody like Kirk Cousins because they both kind of match that same energy, humble guys, willing to learn for sure in their own respective rights. So, yeah, it'll be good to see if the Mendoza show can really show, in Las Vegas.
For sure. And, I mean, I think the Raiders are doing all the right moves, like getting a bunch of, underrated guys on the defensive side of the ball, offensive too, I believe. It's nothing too flashy, but it's just, like, all about getting the right, like – how do I say this? Like accomplished veterans in a way,
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they should be better than what they were last year. And while they might still probably be in last place because they're probably in the toughest division outside of, I mean, think of it, Kansas City, they were 6-11 last year, but they're probably going to be way better than what they were because Mahomes, actually, I just saw a video of him throwing a football, I think less than 100 days after tearing his ACL. Looked pretty good. I mean, moved pretty well. Yeah. And I know they traded, I think Kansas City just traded for Justin Fields as a backup plan, which, everyone's kind of written him off, and I get it, but I am kind of intrigued to see, like, if Mahomes does not make it back week 1, which at this point it looks like he's going to. I'm intrigued to see if Justin Fields, under an Andy Reid offense, for whatever reason, I know it's like the fifth, like, dream scenario for Justin Fields, and people are tired of. They're like, oh, give it up. He's not good, and he might not be, but like, I think this is a chance, like, where he can revive his career. Because let's be honest, like, I didn't have the highest of hopes for him going to the Jets. I mean, I was like, good for him, he got his money, but at the end of the day, it's the Jets. So,
well, too, Andy has a pretty good track record, right, with QBs. So I mean, it's really just about, what he can bring to that organization, and I guess what Andy sees. I mean, to be honest, I'm always going to take a Pat Mahomes, even if he's halfway injured over Justin Fields, just because Pat Mahomes, his ball placement and just
I don't think you're the only one.
he's a different level, all right? And we know that, but at the same time, injuries, man, like you can always be one thing one year, and then the next year you get injured, and it's like you're not the same person anymore, especially with the ACL, no less. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
he didn't really move that well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he moved for a quarterback, but
Are you talking about in that video?
what?
Or are you talking about like just overall?
Just overall, like as Pat Mahomes has gotten in the league, he's kind of slowed down. Like if you look at some of his rookie tape, so I'm just wondering if that's gonna bring any slowdown in his step, or like if it's gonna kind of make him, I guess, a little aware of his legs and try to throw it out more, maybe force more passes. But we'll see, man. I think he's still in his organization, obviously, where he won a Super Bowl. So he still has a lot of confidence, I feel like, in the Chiefs. And he's got Kelsey coming back. So
For sure. And again, we thought that was a lot for him, but I guess they're still trying to keep that core. Like, hey, we've done it 3 times. We could do it again. And I don't have a doubt that they can, but I mean, at the same time, it's also like you're getting younger. But as far as Mahomes' rushing ability, I think he has led the team in rushing every single year, to my knowledge, which that says a lot about their lack of run game. But now they have Kenneth Walker, so things could change up. I mean, I would hope they would, or that contract would not. If Mahomes leads the team in rushing again over especially over Kenneth Walker, that would not look like a good contract. I mean, unless like Mahomes rushes for over 1,000 yards, then.
You have to think they're gonna pound the rock those first 6 weeks, probably. Whether
That's
Mahomes is back or
that's
not,
why
they're
I feel
probably
like they
gonna
got
eat him.
Walker is because, like I said, Super Bowl he was the guy. You know what I'm saying? That like made the balance, if that makes sense. He kept the balance with what I'm saying, everything that went on. So I think that's kind of what they're looking for, and obviously. He's gonna probably, definitely be way, more load heavy with this team, and like you said, first 5 games, I think he's gonna get a lot of touches, just because they're gonna want to see, what do we have in a Kenneth Walker and our offensive line, and how can that help Patrick? But I think it's good, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a good test for him, and I'm hoping he comes back and he can produce and stay healthy for sure.
No doubt. And, seems like a lot of quarterbacks are coming back from injury. Deshaun Watson the other day made some headlines, not because of him, but Jimmy Haslam came out and said he's got a great chance to be our starter day 1, probably because of the money he's making. And, but every time I see a Deshaun Watson workout, it reminds me of a Ben Simmons workout tape.
Yeah.
It ain't going to last long. So, but... And I don't know. Cleveland, they don't know what they're doing at the quarterback position, to be honest.
Really, it's sad.
And
it's sad.
Or just overall. I mean, they got, and it was funny because Todd Monken missed like the NFL head coach's picture at what was the league meetings this past week. He missed it because he was getting a haircut. That's quite hilarious, actually. Now that I think of that, but. Yeah, I don't know. And it was just funny because Haslam also said, we took a swing and a miss a year ago with Deshaun Watson while he was still on the roster. And now he's like, I think he's got a chance to be our day. So these owners, like, sometimes I just don't think the owner, just own the team and keep your mouth shut because you're just putting these guys in bad positions.
Yeah.
Not that Deshaun Watson ever put himself in a good position.
Yeah. And like I said, he never kind of put himself in a good position with all the allegations and stuff. But, man, like...
The fall off is nuts.
Yeah, like the Texans, Deshaun Watson, when he had that 1 year and it was him and D-Hop, and they were just like, bro, they looked unstoppable on offense. It was like crazy.
Until they traded D-Hop away for a bag. 12 tons of Kit Kats.
Yeah, that was one of the stupidest trades in league history. But, man, it's just, will he ever capture that? I don't think so. I just don't see him ever getting back to that Texans level of play that he had. I don't think the Browns are going to surround him with people that he can really use, even if, he played. And so it's kind of a sucky situation. Like you said, he put himself in a position and, I mean, he's getting paid, but really, with an organization like the Browns, you're not really expecting anything but maybe,
Is there any chance that he can massage his image back to being.
That's funny. That's funny.
I was workshopping that back here as you boys.
Surprised
were
he didn't say that.
I know. I put on my my not so big
My
Ben
not so
hat,
big
dude.
Ben hat. Your influence.
I forgot about the. Probably got a rub in Tucker too. Shout out to Justin Tucker. But yeah, I mean that's yeah, that's his legacy at this point. Is just, I mean, Robert Kraft. I'm surprised he didn't try to trade for him. But yeah, quarterbacks, man. Aaron Rodgers the other day. I saw. I don't know how serious I should have taken this. Pro Football Focus, or I think it was who's it? Mike Florio from there wrote an article about potentially how Aaron Rodgers would be linked to the Broncos, and I was just like, interesting. But I don't know how serious that is.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna, say too much about, what I'm saying, that, because I don't really know too much. But Aaron Rodgers, man, like I said, I think it's time for him. If I'm gonna be completely honest, man, I don't want him to ruin his legacy going bouncing from team to team, trying to figure out, where he can win and what he can get from his little bit last run of his career. I think it's time to wrap it up, man. He's had a great career. He's won a Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, it's like, yeah.
I mean, I think if anything, he'll probably come back to the Steelers before he goes anywhere else, which I'd be okay with at this point because I guess we don't have a resolution. But, I would love to give a guy like Will Howard a shot. I mean, national champion out of Ohio State. I think he's got the tools. He can run. He can throw. I mean, that's kind of what you need in today's modern-day football is just all-around mobility. But, again, he hasn't played a game yet, so he hadn't even gotten any preseason reps. So I don't know how comfortable I'd be just handing the reins to the ship to him right now. I mean, I need to see it first, but I mean, I think everyone speaks highly of him. Coach McCarthy has, everyone on the team, Aaron Rodgers has, so it'll be interesting. But quarterback drama around the league, it feels like for the 100th time, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. There was an article written the other day about how they're not getting along, teammates, whatever. They did this 2 years ago also, right before the season, how him and Sirianni didn't get along, and then they won a Super Bowl right after that. So I don't know if they just write these articles to motivate these guys but also like it's just anonymous source quotes. I'm like, I hate this. Like, say it with your chest. Yeah. Like, come out and say who you are. Because, I mean, and you're like, oh, but then they're going to come out. Like, they can't come at you if it's not true. I mean, or if it, like, you know what I mean. So I'm just not a fan of that stuff. I mean, the guy, like, it feels like any year he doesn't get you to the Super Bowl, he's the worst quarterback ever, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think he's the greatest, but I'd kill to have the success that he has right now. So as much as I mean, he probably wouldn't be as hated if he wasn't the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback. Because the Eagles fan base is the worst. Like, you either win it all and you're the greatest, you don't fire everybody, get new players. And when in reality, that's just not how team building works.
No, it's not. And, there was a little bit of speculation in that, right, like last season. Just because of like how like off they seem coming off that Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
And, just like how people were dropping passes. It didn't seem like the offense was well balanced enough. I mean, so it definitely could point to, or if somebody were to put an article out there, it could definitely say, okay, well, we seen what happened last year, and it could be true, like you said, but. My thing is, too, it's like, don't be anonymous. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're saying this and you got your sources right and you know what you're talking about, you should have no problem putting yourself out there because you know what you're talking about, right? But, like you said, being and doing this anonymously, it kind of just shows that you don't want anybody saying nothing back to you or, you don't want anybody really knowing, all the facts with it, just because you would have presented it out there. So, like you said, Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, a lot of teams would have him. I mean, like you said, he's not the best quarterback in the league, yes, but at the end of the day, he's still a top 5, top 10 quarterback if, you put him there and you put him in the right position. And he performs. Obviously, it's up to him, to perform every year. So, yeah, man, I'm wondering and curious to see, like you said, if that fires him up like it did.
He doesn't get phased by anything, really, to be honest.
Really
it's just same stone cold. Like, honest to God, reminds me, he's got, like, the Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality a little bit. Yeah. But all we ever hear is how bad the guy sucks, but I feel like all the guy does is win,
Well, when you've been at Bama and when you've been at Oklahoma, I feel like you've kind of set yourself up to become a target a little bit.
I guess, but, I mean, at the same time, it's, like, funny because – like, he got benched for Tua in the national championship game, and Tua's career has gone down ever since, and Hurts has gone up. Yeah. That's how I looked at it, but, that's neither here or there. Comeback possibilities, the other now we got going on. Odell Beckham met up with John Harbaugh at the NFL League meetings, and he's trying to rejoin the New York Giants, and I guess that'd be a cool fairy tale story, but I just don't see it, man. Like, he hasn't really been, like, an elite receiver in 10 years, honestly.
Yeah.
He's been good, but he's just been kind of another guy. And, he's just got a big name. And, while it sounds awesome, but, like, I just don't see it. And the last time he played, like, he only had 9 catches, and he was released by the Miami Dolphins. And I mean, he did play well in Harbaugh's offense in 23, I think, when he was in Baltimore. But, again, like, he's just a guy that he's not going to be your number one. I don't really see where it fits personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, I guess, it brings a little bit of hype back and a little bit of, attention back to the Giants. But, like I said, it's just injuries, man. You know what I'm saying? When you get injured and you've played as long as he has, and which he's been around 10 years now, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the guy has been in the league. I think he's done his dues, and like you said, his whole Miami stunt was, lackluster, and I just don't think he was probably good in Miami in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. It's just
people don't even remember that he played in Miami. It was like...
Yeah. It was that lackluster, but I think it'll definitely add something. How much of something it will add, I don't know. It just really depends on what type of Odell Beckham you're gonna get. Is he gonna be motivated to play and motivated to want to win? Is it just he's trying to get some more money, because obviously he's blown most of
$100 million.
So, you never know a guy's, intentions and what he wants and what he's trying to get out of it. Odell Beckham's not going to be your next receiver for the next 4 or 5 years. I can guarantee you that. So, really, if you're looking at anything, it's going to be a year or two, I think.
Probably, if that. And, I mean, I guess the hype comes after he played well in a flag football game or whatever, which that shit was kind of goofy, if I'm being honest. I mean, I didn't even watch it. I just heard all about it. It was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia, whatever, because Fanatics has got that, what money. And for whatever reason, everybody loves Michael Rubin, even though the guy's the least athletic guy I've ever seen. If you watch him throw a baseball, I mean,
it's bad.
How do people like this guy? Like, he's genuinely not. Is he Jewish? Not that matters, but anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck Michael Rubin. But, yeah. And I will say, though, those flag football players that are, like, going at, like, the ones who competitively play, like, they kick those guys' asses. But anyways, I don't even want to talk about that. Caleb Williams is now trying to trademark the Iceman nickname from NBA legend George Gervin. And it is, I don't know if have you guys seen that at all?
Mm-mm.
No, yeah, it blew up, and it was funny because like you see all these like little incels online, like George Gervin, who are you? Caleb Williams is the GOAT, even though he's completed like maybe 50% of his passes. But I mean, he completes the most clutch throws, but at the same time, you're 2 years in the league, and you're trying like this is what I didn't like about him. He wanted to own a team, like he wanted to own part of the team wherever he joined, coming out of college, and like now you want to trademark this stuff from like it's just corny shit to me. And just play football, continue. Like you played well last year, but if you think like you're a finished product, you're not yet. I mean, you got a lot more little things to work on, and it's a new year. You haven't won the division yet. You may not win it again this year, so just focus on that instead of trademarking a dumb nickname.
Yeah, I think you should. You should definitely win an MVP or win a Super Bowl before you want to like trademark a name for yourself or like kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like you said, you kind of have to perform to that, which, I mean, he did for 1 year, but it's only been 1 year, really.
I would say probably not even a full year, probably, because the first 6 or 7 weeks, he didn't look great. I mean,
I thought he was going to get benched at one point.
There was definitely a chance he was on his way to.
To what I think of Iceman, I think of Chuck Liddell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was letting y'all boys say that's what came to my mind.
I'm gonna say, anytime I think Iceman, I think Chuck Liddell. So he would never take that title in my head.
No,
Caleb Williams.
No.
But yeah, like you said, just focus on football. I mean, keep it football at the end of the day. I mean, I feel like he's always gonna try to be in the media, and football players, they have to, attract media and attract press. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, just stick to the football and stick to throwing dimes.
For sure. And you got the NFL media is going to be interesting this year because we might be having some replacement referees from what I'm hearing. I remember them in 2012. That was horrible. There was the Fail Mary on that Monday night, Green Bay, Seattle. A few other ones. I remember they called.
What was that no call on the Rams? What was that playoff game? It was like Rams and.
Those weren't replacement refs, but I know exactly what you're talking about. The Rams Saints NFC Championship game.
No call, and they lost because of that.
But you know what? It was nice to see Sean Payton kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
For me. But anyways, no, like there was a Jet. I remember I was at a Steelers Jets game in 2012, and they called pass interference on us. And maybe they got the wrong number, but I looked up at the number they called. The guy like made zero contact. I was like, oh my God, these are the replacement refs? Fuck.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be bad if we have to deal with it. These referees right now are already as bad as they are, and replacement refs. I mean, and quite frankly, being an NFL ref, I just think is the easiest job on the planet. It's not hard.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but man, I'll say that and then I'll go out on the field and be like, ooh, it's kind of hard.
No, you can get your like referee license even for kids for like $20, which is like, I mean, at the end of the day, if you've been a ref and you've watched the game, I mean, I guess on a bigger scale it might be a little bit harder, atmosphere and things of that nature. But at the same time, if you love the game, I feel like it's it's easy to control, and especially if you've been a veteran, shouldn't be hard to make those kind of calls.
No.
So
this goes back to there's no full-time employee that's a ref.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I just think like, all right, if you got to pay, let's just hypothetically say there's, I don't know, 30 referee, 50, well, actually, no, there has to be, let's say there's 50 referees, you pay them $150K a year or whatever it might be. It's not that much money for the NFL in comparison to what they make. I wonder why they don't have full-time referees. That seems weird to me.
I'd apply for that job.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Be a good gig.
I bet if they find them, they would. But it's just, I feel like that with a lot of sports, like basketball, at least in American football specifically. Like, refs should get fined for some of the shit that they pull off.
And then they never have to speak to the...
or never say anything. Like, they just never have to address, you know what I'm saying, the fact of a bad call. It's like, oh, it just happened, the game's over, there's nothing we can do about it. We're not going to make any changes. Like, I feel like give us something, right? Like, give us some, like, hey, give them a press conference, at the end of a game to talk about how they feel like they officiated and what part of the game maybe they could have worked on better. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, are like refs trying to be better? Are they trying to make themselves better? Are they like, okay, we see these, you know, spots that we make decisions in? Because I'm not gonna lie. Like last season, it was a lot. It was just a lot of mistakes in multiple games, and it happened like through the course of the season. So it really didn't feel like anybody was trying to change anything. So I'm just wondering, is there really gonna be any change, or is it really just gonna be the same thing?
Yeah, they could do like even if like they didn't want to get called out for like messing up or whatever, which I agree with you. I think they should do that, but they could even do like the refs are graded on 6 games that they ref, and all the A refs make $200K and all the B refs make $175. Like they could incentivize being right.
Yeah.
And then maybe it won't be like so negative for them, but I agree. They got to be held accountable to some standard somewhere.
Especially basketball.
Yeah,
like basketball
bad.
is worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't watch that. There's a foul.
They've made the game unwatchable for
Yeah.
basketball. It's so bad.
You can't even make any kind of contact now. But real quick, because I do want to dive into one game in particular for basketball. But NFL Monday night doubleheader is going away. I think that's a good call.
Me too.
And you won't. I mean, even if there is, I think they had a number 2 broadcast team. And Dan Orlovsky and that crew will no longer be it. It is going to be, apparently it's allegedly going to be Jason Kelsey and somebody else. And the internet exploded because they said we are done with Jason Kelsey being on everything. And quite frankly, I kind of agree. And I like Jason Kelsey too. But that's just me.
Yeah, he's a good guy to me, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it, to be honest. I'd like to see where it goes. Now, if it becomes annoying, then I can see where it's.
Yeah, I was gonna say give him a chance, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's a well-spoken guy. I mean, I can't take that away from him. I mean, it's funny because all I ever heard was he was in all the honors classes, and I think Travis had like a 1.6 in high school or something like that, which it kind of shows.
Yeah, you can see it.
I mean, but that's neither here or there. The one quick basketball news I'll talk about, because the Final Four is coming up. It's been a really good March Madness. And down goes Duke. Every time Duke basketball loses, I just think of the day that we captured Osama bin Laden, because I equate it to that. Duke basketball is the biggest terroristic threat to America, and each time they go down, it is another win. You shotgun a beer in celebration, and you play Freebird like we just beat Canada's ass in hockey. And when Braylon Mullins shot that 3 from 35 feet, I'm thinking, no, because they haven't made a three-pointer almost all game, and then that goes in. I'm like, that's the white boy of the month.
Oh, don't lie.
And that Duke guy, it was funny because the guy who didn't even get a hand up, his Insta username was just get a hand up or something like that.
I saw that, yeah.
I was like, and people were like, oh, how could SportsCenter clown him for that? And it's like, you kids just want to make dumb fucking things on, like, don't put shit on social media and you won't get clowned for it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. I'm like a little bit older than you guys, but watching March Madness, like watching Duke, like when you watch them on the court, every one of them's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Like, probably. Or at least, like, maybe.
Now they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird to, like, that's why I don't feel maybe quite as bad of, like, he's getting clowned, but he also has, close to generational wealth, and he's not even in the league yet.
I say, so some of that shouldn't bother you, like the normal college kid.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, my thing, my funniest thing was the coach's like reaction after. He like has like half of his suit off, and he's like just like stone cold face, just like staring. And then he meets up with the ref, and he like stares like right at him.
Oh, Dan.
Dan Hurley's a psychopath.
It was just like ball game, fuck ass dude. Like it was just like he was so like, yeah, like man, like I've been waiting for that all game. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there was like a call or something before. I didn't watch the game, but there was something like a call or something that he had with that ref, and then the ball.
Duke did get a lot of whistles in that game, like they have all year. But I mean, that's neither here or there. But it's been a pretty good tournament. I picked Arizona to win it at the beginning, sticking with my guns. Even though I think right now UConn's got all the momentum in the world, and they're underdogs to Illinois, which I have no idea how. But
Illinois is a great team.
They are, but Dan Hurley is probably the best coach left in the Final Four. I don't even think that's a debate. I mean, he's a two-time champion, and if they win it, if UConn wins it all, I would say he's going to be in like GOAT conversations at this point.
100.
But man, I mean, that's that really good, fun tournament. Even though it's kind of died down with the NIL, in my opinion, but still, like there'll still be a moment here and there, but. MMA news, we love our combat, and man, there were some great events this past weekend. Before we dive into the Seattle card, did you get to watch the PFL card in Pittsburgh or no?
Mm-mm.
Man, Johnny Eblin made Brian Battle look like a little boy.
I heard it was bad for Battle though.
That was like a UFC fighter going into, or a PFL fighter going to the UFC. But this time it was a UFC fighter going to the PFL. Would have been funny if Eblin's like, "Welcome to the big leagues, bitch," right after. But no, I mean, I met Brian Battle in Richmond a few months ago when he was watching his teammate fight, like the week of his Chicago fight where he missed weight by 5 pounds and then got cut. But he had a dip in, probably had a lot of beer. Looked like he was having the time of his life. And once I saw him miss weight, I'm like, that doesn't surprise me because I just saw you 4 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, but like having the time of his life. But, I mean, it's still up from here. I mean, they put you in like the big spot. I mean, considering like Eblin probably is one of those guys I could see going to the UFC and doing well. But then again, you never know. And then Impa Kasagane had a nasty knockout of Dalton Rasta right before then. Bless you.
Thank you.
Impa Kasagane and Dalton Rasta was a fun round one barn burner. Sent him out, and there's a few other fights on that card I can't think of, but Seattle was insane from start to finish. I mean, I got to say right off the bat, though, Adrian Yanez got robbed of a decision against Ricky Simone.
I didn't see that, but I watched the highlights of it, and I will say I can see both sides, but I do think he won. Or he pulled it.
Like round one was pretty close.
Yeah.
But
I think it's that round one that
I just didn't see how it was a draw. Like I didn't see how I mean, round 3 he did fuck up, but I didn't see that as a 10-8 round,
No.
And then Navajo Sterling's looking like a promising prospect at 205. Really defended takedowns well against a pretty big guy. I mean, and Bruno landed some shots on him too, but pretty good fight overall. And then Casey, like those women's fights that night, they were coming to kill people. I mean, Casey O'Neill just came, hadn't fought in 2 years and just threw combo. And then like Gabriela Fernandez was smiling, and then that one shot hit, and boom, she was dead.
She was out.
I mean, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They must have forgot. Tyrell Fortune, now a top 8 heavyweight in the UFC, coming in and beating a guy like Marcin Tybura on short notice is not an easy task. I know the heavyweight division's kind of died down, but a guy who really hadn't competed in Bellator since 2024 and was sort of on the regional scene, coming in and getting a win like that, you know. And it was weird because the Bruce Buffer originally, they're like, Marcin Tybura, and then like they had him come back to the ring.
Yeah.
Because when they announced that Tybura won, I was like, what? And then I'm like, okay, that's thank God
they got it right.
Yeah, they got that right. But dude, Chase Hooper, a guy who I had high hopes on, man, that was first of all a nasty head kick that landed. I think it was an elbow or a knee right beforehand. I can't remember, but Gibson also came from Bellator too, so it was like a. Damn, Bellator.
Kind of like Bellator. Yeah.
It was a Bellator night for sure.
Doing us UFC guys in.
In a really fun firefight, even though there was Ignacio Bahamondes and Tafik Masayev, even though I don't know how a referee did not take a point for that fence grab.
Yeah.
That was
blatant, and that was anybody could see that he.
And the headbutt too.
That was dirty.
I mean, my God, but it was a really good fight, and I think both fighters showed. But I don't know. I thought Ignacio got obviously he lost the fight on points based on things not called, but if he doesn't grab that fence, he probably finishes him.
He probably finishes him. Yeah.
I mean, so
it definitely was.
That stinks for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are pretty fun prelims, and then the main card just got better. I mean, Terrence McKinney with another first round finish.
Yeah,
he wasn't on that.
He just keeps doing it, man.
And no bonus once again. Insane to me.
Yeah.
What does he have to do?
What else does he have to do? I mean, it's been 2 or 3 times in a row now. So it's
9. He's never gotten one.
Either give him something or, you know what I'm saying, give him a good fight or something that could give him, potentially a shot at the title or something. Because, I mean, he's looking good. I will say he does leave himself still open. He leaves his chin still wide up in the air, but...
Well, that's what he's going to do. I mean, that's why he gets, he either finishes or gets finished.
Yeah.
Literally, he's got a 100% finish rate, and he's been finished 100% of the time.
Yeah. So it's either or, but it's good still, to see him knock the guy out. And, yeah, man, like you said, good start to the main card for sure. And then...
and that Yusri Belguri, however you say his name, incredible, looked really good. I didn't even recognize, because I remember watching him on Contender Series thinking, this guy's okay, not great. Man, Mansour could not.
He's super long, man.
Yeah, honest to God.
Super long.
He trains with Alex Pereira, and it showed, because I was watching him, is it crazy for me to say that he looked like Poetan?
It's just the resemblance of the body.
It was weird.
The way he kind of moved, you could tell like you said, he trained with Alex.
Yeah. The leg kicks too.
Yeah.
The little flying knees kind of.
Yeah. Even the knees inside, in the clinch, it just looked exactly like Pereira. Which, good for him. Like you said, I think the guy he faced, he was, only
undefeated.
Undefeated or one loss.
Had no contests.
One no contest. But still, to put a guy, that hasn't lost, And,
I thought Mansour was going to win the fight going in.
Yeah. I just, it's good for him, and he looks sharp. I'm curious to see as he gets, more developed how, he develops, and, hopefully he can,
I think his stock rose big time after that one.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was a lot of guys, Contender Series-wise. I don't know how Lahian Douglas... Julian Erosa was like a fucking zombie in that fight. I feel like he got knocked down 5 times. It only registered twice, but I'm just watching him continue to march forward, face all bloody. I'm like, this is going to end soon, isn't it? And then boom, and then he just got sent to the shadow realm, man. Yeah. And the guy puts on his cowboy hat, and now he throws very, very wild.
Yeah.
And it's something to work on, but a guy like Julian Erosa, who's fought everybody and anybody, he's got 30+ fights in the UFC, I think, by now, and he has beaten a lot of prospects in the past. Julian has, so it shows. I still think you need to give him guys who are kind of boogeymen, if you will.
Yeah.
He obviously is not ready for a top 15 opponent yet. I wouldn't think so, unless it's a top 15 opponent who's a boogeyman, but I don't know of one in the 145-pound division. I guess Bryce Mitchell's a bantamweight now. But and then Michael Chiesa got the nice send-off win over Nico Price, and Nico Price also put down his gloves saying he was going to retire, but they just didn't even interview him. I was like, damn. That was kind of a weird, cool. It was cool, But I don't want to be disrespectful to Michael Chiesa, but guys like him get a retirement send off, and people like Stipe Miocic didn't. And I know with the UFC, it's all about how good your relationship is with Dana, and I think Michael's got a And it sucks because his relationship.
I don't think he just didn't want to fight anymore after John's fight.
Yeah, but he didn't even get a send off. They were just he's like, yeah, I'm done, and they just walked out the ring. not even like
Yeah.
because he's the great. I mean, yeah, John beat him, but I still think Stipe is the greatest UFC heavyweight ever.
Yeah.
I mean, because John wasn't a heavyweight long enough for me to say like John's the greatest fighter ever, but Stipe in terms of like heavyweight
divisions, yeah.
like the guys he beat, but that's neither here or there. And Alexa Grasso, you were on record saying that fight was gonna suck. I remember that.
I thought it was.
But I'll be honest, I thought it was gonna be like a 3-round war because those ladies like to stand and trade on the feet, but I didn't think it was going to be like that.
To literally get hit with the same combo twice in a row. I mean, she literally did. Alexa Grasso threw the combo that she hit her with like twice beforehand, like 2 times in a row.
It was almost bullying.
She threw it again and like just landed perfectly, and it was precise. I will say, like, her straight lands immediately off her jab, right where her jab lands, her straight lands.
Yeah.
Which is just in the gym practicing. She's got great boxing, so I mean, but yeah, and then to immediately attack the choke, there's like, I'm telling you, there's
the
levels.
Instincts are insane.
There's levels to like know and to think, even though you've got, she's had to work that in camp, right? There's no way that you just know that off instinct or just know that unless you haven't been practicing, or unless you have been practicing it and you expected it and you knew that you could get it, which I firmly believe that she knew that she was going to be able to get something like that immediately.
Yeah.
Just because of, like I said, the instinct of it. And I mean, man, I think it was probably one of the greatest knockouts of women's history of all time. I mean, just the way it happened, how fast she was on that choke after, and literally just, I mean, it was like a knockout submission, almost, to be honest.
I mean, I think she did get credited with a submission attempt with that, which is, I mean, I've never seen someone get knocked out, like, turned around like the way that Macy did. But, and we're glad you're okay, because that was scary. And
I think she faked some of that, because she was, like, just sitting there, like looking, and she was breathing. She was just like sitting there. I feel like she was a little bit embarrassed, but I mean, glad you're okay. I did see.
I mean, she was out though.
I did see. Didn't she have like a lip injury or something too?
Yeah,
like
that kind of came after the fight. That was weird, but
yeah.
I mean, I guess like because she did have the health issues going in, had a seizure before one of her fights last year.
Yeah.
And then I think she had a fight again in December, won that one, but just I hope that wasn't anything serious, and hope to see you back in the octagon soon. But if not, then a hell of a run, because I mean, you were on a winning streak right after, and I mean, I just couldn't believe that Alexa was the underdog. I was like, there's no way. But Israel Adesanya, though, later main evented. Man, it's tough.
I knew it, bro.
You thought you had Pyfer winning?
Yeah, I did have Pyfer winning.
See,
I didn't want him to win, but
I also just
Izzy's just not. I saw the weight cut, and I said, yeah, Izzy's not gonna.
But he doesn't really cut much weight, though. I don't think. No.
He might now, but it's the things that you do for weight cut. It's not really like. What I found out is as you get older, your body just can't, like, cut that weight as the same. You know what I'm saying? And as you've been in more wars, your body's torn more. I mean, your ligaments don't work the same. I mean, like I said, you're just not the same person. So I feel like it's becoming harder for him to cut that weight. He looked terrible in his weight cut. His face looked bad. Just his body weight. Like, he didn't look as cut as he usually. It looked like he had muscle. He was defined, but it just looked like bloated muscle. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like normal Izzy to me. And which, Izzy's gonna always fight. He came to fight, first round.
Look good.
Like I said, Izzy being Izzy, he's always going to look good and produce just because of the caliber of fighter he is. But at the end of the day, I do think this is 4 in a row now. I do think it becomes to a point where you have to look at your health. You know what I'm saying? He's not just losing. He's getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? He's getting battered in these fights. And, I think he still has some talent to offer. You know what I'm saying? Would I put him top 10? I'm not really seeing it as much anymore. Like I said, he could still probably beat most of those guys in that lower, rankings. But he leaves his chin just wide open. He just leaves himself too open now. He like I said, he's gotten older to the point where he can't move like he used to. He can't do those head rolls and like he did with Robert, Whitaker and
Yeah.
he just can't move the same. And I think, like I said, the wars do take a toll on you. Like I said, when you fight guys and you have these wars like he did with Robert Whitaker, Kevin Gastelum, Alex Pereira, like he's had some wars, and those take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think he's the same Izzy, and that's there's no discredit to him, but it's just like it happens. It happens over time. So
For sure. And I mean, he was winning that, again, until he decided to brawl. I mean, that's just when it went south for him. And I still think he can. I don't think he's done yet. I think he can still fight. I think he could beat a Brendan Allen, or I think he could beat I don't know, a lower, maybe Michael Venom Page. That'd be a fun fight to make. Well, maybe not. They're both counter strikers. Yeah, and Joe Pyfer, we're glad that you were still here. I could not believe that he admitted on the mic after that he had thought about committing suicide before the fight. So really glad that you're still here. And I didn't realize he was seconds away is what he said. So yeah, man. And now, I mean, and God had your back the whole time. You're now a top 5 middleweight, and you are in position to be a champion of the UFC potentially. I mean, I know you got a hard climb, but you're right there. You could probably get a number 1 contender fight coming up, I would think. If not, I mean, beating a former champion could put you at the front of the pedestal.
Yeah.
As far as we know. I mean, earlier that night, Demetrius Johnson was finally inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. So congrats, Mighty Mouse. My GOAT, personally.
Took longer than expected.
Well, because they didn't like each other for the longest time. So I'm wondering how they mended fences. Because when I saw Donald Cerrone get inducted and he didn't, I was like, and I love Donald Cerrone, but come on.
Yeah, it's not a Demetrius Johnson for sure.
He didn't even sniff gold in the UFC, but
yeah.
Yeah. And then Nate Diaz was on a pod the other day saying he rejected a McGregor trilogy. Said a lot on that Theo Von show, but that's just Nate Diaz at its finest. And Colby Covington is suing Jorge Masvidal. I thought that shit was over with. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, man. I mean,
yeah, I don't really understand Colby's antics. I think Colby just tries to stay in the limelight, just tries to do whatever. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? I get the past, whatever. I don't even know what the lawsuit's about, but
when he I think when he socked him outside of a Miami club right after their fight too, which
is
again, Jorge, you had 25 minutes in the cage too, and then, but at the same time, it's you guys are fighters. You don't sue each other over this shit.
Yeah,
and I think Colby's kind of being a bitch.
Yeah, I just. I feel like there's better ways to solve it than suing. I feel like that is kind of the pussy route. Just because it kind of seems like you're looking for any type of money out of it. But, we'll see what happens.
I mean, he is at the stage where, if it's not a title fight, then, and obviously he is not a title fighter at this point in his career. I mean, him losing to Kamaru Usman is the peak of his career, Colby.
Yeah.
But I got to give Colby one shout out though. Thank you for taking out Dylan Danis in RAF this past weekend, and also Arman Sarukian finally finished that Giorgio guy.
Thank goodness.
They just end that shit. I mean, but they seem they're on good fences now. But yeah, RAF also on fire. But what was I on? Oh. Tommy Fury versus Eddie Hall somehow happening in a boxing match. They're calling it Beauty versus the Beast. This is obviously for ticket sales and trying to. It's just kind of the state of boxing. As I don't even know what Tommy Fury fights at. I don't really care. But Eddie Hall's I thought 330 pounds or something, bodybuilder. But
yeah,
it's dumb. But I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it though.
Yeah.
Because it sounds hilarious, but and in the WWE, we got John Cena hosting WrestleMania 42. So now I feel like an idiot for paying all that money to go watch his last match. Now, granted, I know he's not competing, but it's like, now again, I also didn't think he was going to leave the WWE forever. I just know he's not going to be a full-time competitor, but it'll be interesting. I mean, he'll probably come out and speak on the mic, and then like Gunther's, John Cena, I retired you. Why are you here? And then like Seth, and now I guess Gunther and Seth Rollins, very random feud, but it's gonna cook.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's how they do it. But and Sami Zayn is the new United States champion. I can't clap. They did Mello dirty, brother.
Yeah, I don't see why Sammy is.
Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams is a money match for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and they fumbled that.
They could have built it up, and they could have made the story a lot better. And I just, I kind of get tired of Sammy. You know what I'm saying? Sammy's been in WWE for a long time.
Turn heel, and maybe
doing the same thing for a long time, having the same
good
act.
guy. Like,
it's just. It gets old, and you know what I'm saying? People want to see something different. And I mean, like you said, his character just hasn't really changed, So,
I mean, that heel run he had,
I guess, but
yeah, I mean, that heel run he had in like 17. I was like, yeah, this guy is dangerous. But I miss that Sami Zayn that literally said AEW on WWE television program, and I was like, bring that guy back. But, and now we also have new tag team champions, Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And you know what? I just got to fucking say, I mean, obviously, everybody and their mama knows I don't like Logan Paul, but I can give him credit. He's a very good in-ring wrestler. Austin Theory, I don't like the guy, and I don't think he's a very good in-ring wrestler. And I'll say it on record right now. There is not a single move in the ring that Austin Theory can do that I can't do. And everyone says he's so fucking talented. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I think and obviously I don't even train pro wrestling, but I would be just as good, if not better, than him in the ring.
Yeah. I've never really thought Austin Theory as a, you know what I'm saying, as a guy that's really good in promos or wrestling, like you said. It's just, he's kind of good as like a backup guy or like, in a tag team or, with somebody, but by himself, he just, you know what I'm saying, unless he does like a complete makeover or something, or not like a complete makeover, but just a complete change of his character, he still just gives the same kind of like Austin Theory that he's always given.
The guy beat John Cena at WrestleMania, and nobody gave a flying fuck. That is just, he will never get over no matter how many times they try. Like, I don't see it. And, but I guess this is an angle because they're trying to get iShow speed at WrestleMania. I mean, I saw last night that LA Knight attacked him on the, or attacked him on the, I'm like, this is just goofy. And Kenny Omega went on an interview and said, we're going to get to the point where WWE has Mr. Beast versus iShow Speed as the main event of WrestleMania. And it's hard to disagree, and I hate thinking of that.
Makes you want to watch AEW.
Dude, honestly, they've been on a fucking heater.
And more of their stuff is just so much more like, at least to me right now, and the WWE has their, their storylines, but it's still, kids most of the time watch WWE, so you gotta cater to a younger audience, and some of it's just kind of corny to me, and just kind of, for the fame of it. But AEW, they're just genuinely, I feel like, love wrestling.
Yeah.
All the guys that wrestle just genuinely love wrestling, and
once they stop mentioning WWE, like they've been,
just doing their own thing, you
like,
know what I'm saying?
MJF and Hangman was one of my favorite matches of the year so far. And then MJF cutting like a nasty promo, just bloodied up and everything.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny seeing him at Disney World because, I can't say it, but MJF is Jewish and he's at Disney World, You know the history of Walt Disney and Jews. Sorry. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm not gonna speak on it because I'm not Jewish. So
I mean,
I'm not gonna.
I'm resisting so much. I mean, I know, like, I'm a quarter Jew and I make Jewish jokes all the time, but we should be allowed to, like, make all the racist jokes in the world. I need more white joke. Like, I need more jokes about how these rich white people are always like Lindsey Graham is trying to get his people to go into war. I'm like, send your rich fucking kids into war, you jagoff, you fucking honky. But yeah, that was totally off topic. But no, back to wrestling. And that pay-per-view they got in AEW, I don't remember what it's called. I think April 12th is when it's going to be. That should be a good card. And yeah, I mean, and Chris Jericho's back in AEW now. So I guess I lied to you guys about saying that he'd be back in WWE. So sorry, but I will say, can you imagine the AEW stan accounts that had to delete all their tweets like, oh, Jericho sucks, he's leaving, now he's back. It's like, oh, Jericho's back, you know? But, I mean, when that Judas hits, what have I become? Na, 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 na. Yeah, I don't know. Fozzy is a great band, and I will, whenever I pull up to the gym, I'm blasting Judas, and yeah, I mean, if that's where he wants to finish his career, so be it. I mean, because I'm sure, like, he saw the direction that WWE's heading and probably didn't like it.
Yeah,
and I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Like I said, I guess it really just depends on, you know, what type of style of, you know, wrestling and storylines that you like. But I think it's definitely more even than people think now, at least to me in AEW with storylines and just what they're presenting. Just because, like you said, when AEW stopped talking about WWE, they kind of been doing their own thing and you know, producing good matches and, you know, having guys like MJF have those promos and you know, Tommaso Ciampa having the type of matches that he has. It just, you know, it's saying something good about what they're trying to do, and like I said, it's making me want to tune in a little bit more than WWE right now.
For sure. Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. But we got some crazy people out there, you know, that are both wrestling fans probably, and, you know, we've seen it in the crowds. Puka Nakua and Cam Scattaboo have been at WWE and UFC events. I think Puka was at the Holloway fight going nuts behind whatever corner he was in. And I was like, damn, this guy's off the rocker.
Yeah.
And I think he just checked into rehab the other day. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not great, the trajectory that he's going down. But, you know, I hope you recover, I guess. But I don't know. I'm also on record saying that I think rehab's just another way of dodging responsibilities. But, again, I don't say that to be disrespectful, but it seemed, why do people go back 2 or 3 times? And you know what I mean?
It's just, it's addiction, bro. He obviously has an addiction to something. I think it's probably alcohol. It's just he can't limit his alcohol drinking, or whether it's, you know, it could be drugs, but we're just going to say it's alcohol. But, yeah, obviously you could tell that there was something going on with him this year compared to at least the previous years that he's played.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what happened for him to, you know what I'm saying, start
going off the rocker
a little bit and kind of, could just kind of be out everywhere, you know what I'm saying, and just have his name up for, you know, not good reasons. And like I said, his brother's also kind of in that category, so it could
stole
just be
a car.
It could just be, you know, something going on with the family, or, you know, things happen behind the scenes. Like, you never know. I just hope he can get back to himself, you know what I'm saying? I hope the rehab works, you know what I'm saying? You know, he can get back out there next season and, you know, just focus on football, man. Focus on family and football and,
Got a good thing going.
Dude,
he's got a great thing going. So,
dude,
he can't waste that for sure.
He's got to get back on track, man, because he's going to get that JSN contract if he's smart. And he's a 5th-round pick, so he hasn't made any money yet.
I mean, I would think they're going to hold that contract and, like, have him prove it this year.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I think he has to know that at this point.
Yeah.
I would think. But in real, we'll end on this debate right here. Cam Scattaboo is on record saying that CTE and asthma are fake. And I saw that and I started laughing because, I mean, that caused a lot more controversy. Like, I didn't think he needed to write an apology for that. I don't know. I thought he was just being corny or whatever. But, and I think Gerald McCoy kind of went on a show and said, like, hey, I've had teammates that, like Vincent Jackson and
Doug Martin.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, he's a CTE denier, Cam Scattaboo is, because he is the epitome of CTE. Because the amount of, watching him just headbutt a random wall when he was at Arizona State.
The funny part to me is you just threw asthma in there. Like, asthma's like, what am I doing? What am I doing here?
It's like, yeah, what's wrong with that?
Asthma, I kind of believe might be fake. Honest to God, I really might think.
No, come on, bro. Asthma is.
You just breathe air.
Asthma is real, bro.
Yeah,
millions of people got inhalers.
I was gonna say, do you guys? Well,
I don't. No, I don't.
I've had breathing problems before. I didn't have asthma, but I had something like asthma. I had to do the nebulizer.
I had that as a little kid too.
I did that.
Well, it's just like, it was always like there were some though that like said they had asthma, and you're like, you kind of look like you're you know what I mean though, like I forget, like we had this,
some
like
people can bullshit it.
We had this really fat kid after once where asthma, like he wouldn't even, like, I think he did the inhaler the wrong way. We're like, yeah, this guy does not, that's a fake inhaler for one. It's just like, but it was just funny because if you're like skinnier and you have asthma, they're like, okay, yeah, it's probably real. But then, like, if you're just a fat guy and you have asthma, you're like, no, you fat fuck. You know what? Honest to God, like, it's serious. Like, now granted, I'll admit it, I once faked an asthma attack during sprints in high school. So that's why I said it's fake. But no, it probably is real. I would think there's a chance that, CTE is more of a thing than asthma, I get, but I don't know. But the whole
asthma is way more than a thing than CTE.
Probably. I don't know, but
yeah.
But it's just funny because you can't use an inhaler because remember Greg Hardy used an inhaler in the octagon?
Yeah.
Which I guess you can't do, and I just remember my friend who allegedly has asthma was like, dude, that guy's using an inhaler. What the fuck? I'm like, you would know all about that. But he was also a guy who got out of all of workouts because of I don't know. Like, I think to some people, they can't do PE because of asthma. I'm like, come on, man. But like,
thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you have asthma, go fuck yourself.
No, all asthma lovers are well. But first of all, if you have asthma, all right, here's the fucking thing. If you have asthma and you're like vaping and smoking a cigarette, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you at that point because it's like, come on.
Yeah, you kind of do it to yourself at that point.
Believe all asthma people.
Yeah. It's like. It's like, oh, I need my inhaler, and it's just a fucking box vape. Look at me, I'm gay. I can puff, like those, like the box cutter ones are the worst. But I don't know. We love all of you, but yeah, if you have asthma, if you have CTE, if you have bronchitis, if you have, I don't know,
bronchitis.
All except transgenders. We don't love you people. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm not. But glad to have you guys here. Thank you for another. God damn it.
Yo, wrap this up. Wrap this shit up.
Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment. Brandon, you got anything to say? Or Pro, sorry.
No, man. Just... You know what I'm saying? Keep sports in your life, man. Like I said, man, it's good to be here, talk about different stuff, man. And like I said, the draft is coming soon. I will keep reminding y'all about that draft. It's going to be a key factor, I'm telling you, to where teams are going to be for this season. I'm telling you. It's going to help a lot of teams. It's going to destroy a lot of teams. So we'll definitely see what that does. But, yeah, just stay tuned. UFC's got some good stuff going on. Pay attention to that White House card for sure. And, yeah, we'll talk about all that coming in the future for sure. But, yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Poe.
Good show. Run it out.
Sir, thank you guys for tuning in once again. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Good night, everybody.